Maeve, obviously the 2024 season has come to an end. We unfortunately didn't make finals, but we ended the season on a high. What's the overall feeling amongst the group at the moment?
Yeah, obviously a bit of disappointment because we could have made finals if the footy gods worked in our favour, but obviously the type of season we had didn't necessarily allow us room to sort of get a bit more of an edge across the competition and get more percentage points and more points in general to get us into that final series. But yeah, so obviously we would have loved to be playing finals, but obviously the season we've had, I think as a group, pretty proud of us for what we've overcome and what we've been able to achieve. So yeah, disappointed to not make it, but looking forward to season 2025 and hopefully having a good crack.
Well, yeah, must have some sort of confidence in looking ahead to next year with like the run that we've had the last few weeks, like being able to put together a good few games.
Yeah.
Is that the confidence that you're feeling heading into next year?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the injuries we had this season meant a lot of younger players had a lot more opportunity and a lot more experience. So I think that's going to hold us in good stead for next season and the season after, to give them that experience. So yeah, obviously the way we were building towards the end of the season was strong and we're very connected as a group. So looking forward to being able to sort of remember that and work on that in the off season. And then when it comes to pre-season and pre-season next year, we can just keep building off that sort of basis.
It was really nice to end the season on a high, particularly for Ree Watt, who announced her retirement from the game. Yeah. How important is she for the group? You know, she's been such a star on and off the field from a cultural point of view. Yeah. How important has she been?
Oh, so hugely important. Like, I love Ree so much. She's like the rock of our team, and she's such a leader. She doesn't really need to have a title of being a leader or anything. Although she was in a leadership group, she didn't need that to have the impact that she did. And yeah, her energy and her, even like, I feel like a lot of people talk about the way she brought us all together, like in terms of her spiritual, like, sort of her connection and stuff like that. Like her ability to still work hard and stuff as an athlete and still push herself was also great. Like she still really wanted to earn her spot and push like other people in her position to be better athletes too. So I think, yeah, as much as she connected us, she also drove us too as athletes. So she'll be missed hugely. And yeah, she's had a great career. She's a great athlete. She obviously had a really experienced volleyball background too. So yeah, I wish her all the best in whatever is next for her. But yeah, she will be missed. She's a great character.
Season on a high. In terms of your own campaign, you've had a career best season, no doubt. Hot off the press, 22 under 22 squad for AFLPA, which is exciting. Talk us through, I know it's always awkward to talk about yourself, but like talk us through how you saw your season.
I feel like it was developing, like across the last couple of seasons I've been working towards a season like I have had this year. Wasn't really expecting it to sort of skyrocket the way it sort of did, and the responsibility I sort of took on in the backs I really enjoyed. So I'm obviously grateful for the season I've had, and I worked really hard in the off season, so I feel like it's a surprise, but like I also feel like I earned it and I deserved it because I did work pretty hard in the most humble way possible. But like, yeah, I feel like, I'm so grateful that I was able to have that season, but it wasn't really like this has just happened sort of thing. Like I feel like I knew that I was working towards this, and I'm so excited to keep building on it because I feel like this is just like my base level, and I'm excited to keep chipping on and adding little things to my game, and as a player as well in the club and sort of a teammate.
Reward for effort.
Reward for effort.
And I think Tyler kind of touched on that when she spoke pre-game for your 25th game about like the work that you put in the pre-season. What was your headspace like at that point? Was there a particular thing that you were like, okay, this is why I want to work extra hard? Was there any point?
I feel like obviously with the history I've had being at Melbourne, like being delisted and stuff, I had those like glimpses of really enjoying being a professional athlete, and sort of that maturity came with it at the perfect time in the last off season, like the maturity of wanting to work hard but also like wanting to really be a professional athlete and like dedicating a lot of my life to doing that. Like in the off season it's very easy to have fun with your friends and stuff, and that's all well and good, but I realised that there was something that I was sort of really craving, and it was that that working hard and like that sort of reward of being like a known good athlete, especially just internally. Like I just want my teammates and my coaches and the staff to know that I'm working hard and that I'm really dedicated to this club and being the best person I can be on and off the field. So I feel like that really drove me in the off season, just trying to be the best athlete and person I could be. And yeah, I think my maturity as well just sort of helped me too, just sort of had that little switch.
Little mix.
Yes.
You, as I said, you got to 25 games, but you also just mentioned your journey at Melbourne.
Yes.
I think we've talked about it a little bit, but
Yeah.
do you mind just talking us through what that was? Because you obviously said that you got delisted.
Yes. Yeah.
How far, you've come so far, how have you reflected on that?
Yeah, I feel like it's so funny. I feel like I don't really reflect on it. Like, obviously I had more of a time to reflect on it this season just because I feel like yeah, I was obviously my games and my the way I was paying off, so I was able to take time to just sort of realise like how far I had come. But yeah, it is a journey, it is a unique one, and I'm really grateful for it. I think it's shaped me to be the person I am. Yeah, obviously I missed out on 2 drafts when I was 18 and 19, then got signed as a replacement player for Melbourne, and then got delisted and then drafted again in that same year. It was the 2022 season. And then won a premiership. So it's a unique journey, it's a unique start to a football career. But yeah, I honestly wouldn't change it. It's made me the person I am. It's gonna always make me work hard, knowing that, you know, nothing comes easy, nothing is just handed to you. You do have to work really hard for it. And then, yeah, I'm just super grateful for the experience Melbourne has been able to give me now flowing on from that. Yeah, I feel like I owe a lot to Melbourne. I'm very grateful to be here.
Well, we love having you here. In terms of the back line, there's been lots of changes. Obviously, a few players left during trade period.
Yeah.
There was a change in line coach with Brewy coming on board as the back line coach. Talk us through what it was like building that connection this year with a few more youngsters taking on responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that connection came quite naturally. Brew was the VFL coach, so a few of us backline players played in a few VFL games in the pre-season, so I feel like that helped our sort of coaching to player connection, and understanding what he's like as a coach and him understanding what we're like as players. So I felt like that connection came really easily. And for the new players and the young players that came through, I feel like the sort of core group of that backline that has been there since probably that premiership, like Gab, Goldie, Gab didn't play in the premiership but she was still there, but Gab, Goldie, Talia, Heater, myself and Lampy when she would come down. I feel like for the younger players and the newer players coming in, it was really easy to slot in with us. We're very connected, us sort of 6, and we work well together, so I feel like we made it like a welcoming space for them to be able to come in and just play their role. There was no expectations for them to be stars, you know, like you're just there to be a good teammate. That's all we really ask of each other.
You kind of touched on it again before, but like the pre-season, what does that look like for you? Like what are you hoping to build upon? And what do you think the group is looking forward to building on? Yeah,
I feel like as a group we can definitely keep building on our sort of skills and our sort of fundamentals of the game and making sure they're at a really strong point. I feel like this season they were at a really strong point, but obviously with fatigue, condensed fixture, timings and stuff of games, fatigue sort of hit in, so we weren't able to play the game style we wanted to. And we obviously had also a game style change halfway through the season. So I feel like in the pre-season, I'm looking forward to being able to work all together to work on those fundamentals, work on that new game style that we're wanting to play. And yeah, so just building on those aspects of the game and making them really strong and setting really core, strong values as a group. So I feel like that'll be really exciting. Yeah.
Keen to hear more from the Ds? Subscribe here.